like what was challenging you in this business. And I just had a heart to just say those don't always have to be your challenges. And I really want you guys to be working towards making those challenges your strengths. And so I wanted to get some of our top leaders on tonight and just have them share how they've, had challenges in the past and they've turned them into their strengths. And so what I did was I actually went through every single one of your posts in that, from that post on that day, and I wrote down everybody's biggest challenges that they have in the business, and I compiled a list. And I really think that this is going to be super helpful for you guys. Challenges into strength. So we're going to start right away with mindset with Brittney Landrum. I cannot wait to hear from her. So excited. Let's go.
That's the main thing, is everyone has this business, and you guys may be kind of shocked, but so this girl joined this business, and I'll never forget, as soon as she joined, her leader made a post and said, "So excited to welcome so-and-so to my team. She's going to kill it. I can't wait to see what this does for her family," right? And the first comment under that post says, "Oh no, not you too." And I remember this girl was literally devastated. Not only had she taken a leap of faith to even say yes when she really was shy, she was timid, she was worried what other people were going to think. But then the first interaction on her post was, "Oh no, not you too." And then it gets crazier from that, guys. So months into the business, I'll never forget, statuses were being made about her all over town. Like literally, "Oh, this won't work, this girl's crazy." Then come to find out they were actually group chats that adult women were bashing this person in their town, literally bashing this person for what she was doing, okay? I can't believe she's using her son to promote a product. I can't believe that this person is actually thinking that this is going to work. And guys, it got worse and worse and worse. And I want to keep this story short, but I want to let you know how powerful it is, okay? And then it got to a point where she was kind of being made fun of. And so one thing that I want to tell you is I want to tell you who this person's name was. Her name was Brittney Landrum. She's now a presidential diamond. And the last time numbers were updated, she was number 51. Okay? And the reason that I want to tell you that is you may see my success story now, but you don't realize, one, what I went through, and two, what still to this day, I still, I always say with new levels comes new devils. But there was one big thing that I was able to look past all that, and it was my mindset. I didn't know what this business was going to do for me, but I could not wait to find out. And so something that I always want to stress is, when, at the beginning, I was a distributor, right, guys? The money wasn't always there, but what I would do is I was very confident in what was going to happen. So those were the things I called out. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to mark this off my dream board. And that's literally exactly what I did. Sorry, I have my thing and my phone's dying. I want to make sure I stay on track because they gave me 7 minutes and I'm a talker. The other thing is, I think that when you join a business, you guys are hearing from all different leaders, right? And you're like, okay, well, this person says do it this way, and this person says do it this way. What do I do? And so what I would tell you from my experiences, I wanted this to work so bad that I was willing to do anything that it took. But that doesn't mean that I was Tiffany, that I was Alyssa, that I was Susan Wade, because those are some people that I was following. But I remember thinking, I really can't knock it until I'm willing to try it. And to be honest, what I did with my journey, and I still to this day, I'll take tips and I kind of piece together. So I'm a little of Susan, I'm a little of Tiffany, I'm a little of Alyssa. And what that makes is, that makes me Brittney Landrum. And that's what I would recommend for you guys is, pick a little from everyone that works for you, but just understand that yes, you're gonna have to leave your comfort zone. Okay. The other thing is, I was writing down 2 of the main things that I would say are the biggest obstacles that you're gonna face. And just prepare. One of them is that your team quitting on you. You're like, oh, I was just traded for Ruby and now my team quit. I got to rebuild. I'll be honest with you guys. I literally cannot stand the word rebuilding. Like when someone messages me and says, okay, I'm rebuilding, I'm like, well, technically you should have never stopped building. And I'll be honest with you guys, I am a red personality, but when someone quits on my team, I want to explain how I take it. I'm sad for them because I know what they're giving up, but I'm not sad for me because them quitting does not at all change what I'm doing for my life and my team that is going to stay. And I don't have it done right now, but I'm currently working on we've just been working on my dream board and stuff. And I always say it's super important to keep this stuff in front of you because your team quitting, it literally cannot affect you. And if you continue to build, I can genuinely tell you it won't affect you. The other thing that I hear a lot is being told no, okay? And so what I would tell you is I was a no. Like I literally was Alyssa's no. I nicely said, no way, I would not be good at this. And what if she would have stopped posting because Brittney told her no and she's devastated and she decided to give up? Well, guess what? Because she kept doing the things she was doing, because there were people that were going to tell her yes, Brittney changed her mind 3.5 months later and then end up being one of her presidential diamonds that she needed to go to the next level. The other thing is, this sounds super cheesy, and my team that's on here, you've already heard this before, but I love this analogy is, what if someone came to you and they said, 10 people, 10 rock stars are going to tell you yes. Okay, they're going to tell you yes. But in order, and they'll promise you they're going to tell you yes. But before you get those 10 yeses, you have to be told no 300 times. Wouldn't you be excited to get a no? Because at that point you're like, yeah, number 250. I only got 50 more and I'm going to get my yeses. I don't like being told no, guys. And even on this, like I'm red and blotchy because this is not comfortable for me and I've been doing this 3 years. I don't like being told no. But I remember that I was a no. And a lot of other runners and Ambassador Diamonds said no at the beginning too. And so that's literally what I tell myself. I just say, you know what? I need to be told no because the idea is I want them to tell me no before they tell someone else no. Because eventually they're going to say yes. So I need to be that first no. And then the last thing that I want to leave you with is, and this is a hard one, you have to genuinely believe in yourself. But I would say that you honestly can't you can put yourself in goals. You can say, I want to hit this rank because of X, Y, and Z. But you also can't to the point where you're like, oh, I don't know, if I don't hit this, then this isn't for me. Okay? Because the moment that you said, I may have to quit if this doesn't happen, or I may have to do this, you've already let your mind know that it's an option. Okay? And for those of you, I know some of you have been posting about it, but the 5-second rule literally is life-changing because your mind controls everything. So if you believe it, you will achieve it. But if there's a little bit of doubt, you won't. So get your mind in check quick. So that's all I got.
Oh my gosh, Brittney, I feel like I'm on fire because of that. I love that so much, so much. Yeah, so encouraging to just even know that you are a no. And, all of that you said just really, really lit my fire. I know I see other people frantically writing and nodding and saying amen. So thank you so much for being on. That was so helpful. Okay, you guys, I'm going to buzz through 2 different kind of excuses that I saw a lot of in that post. The first one is, kind of sealing the deal and kind of what goes along with that. So one of the things that some of you guys were talking about were even after you follow up with somebody multiple times, how do you seal the deal with them? And what I would just say is once you followed up with somebody a few times with a general follow-up of, hey, how's it going? Have you, are you ready? Or whatever your follow-ups are, change it from it works to something completely random, especially if you're getting crickets. If you're getting crickets, then it's time to change the conversation to something that you really believe that they're going to answer you on. Because of the way that Facebook algorithm and Instagram algorithms work, if you are messaging somebody and messaging somebody and messaging somebody and messaging somebody and they're not responding to you, there's not a conversation there, then Facebook's going to assume that this person doesn't really want to hear from you. But if you can get them to respond back to you, then they're like, oh, sweet, they're friends. I'm going to show them their posts. I'm going to like put, all of the things that you're writing on Facebook in their face because they have a relationship. They want to see each other's stuff. So make it your goal to write them something that they're going to respond to you on. My go-to, my team has heard this a million times. I know it sounds so silly, but I find it really easy to ask people like, oh my gosh, girl, where'd you get your jeans? I've been looking for some exactly like that. Oh my gosh, girl, where did you find that recipe? That looks amazing. Oh my gosh, girl, find a recent post, ask them that simple question. 9 out of 10 times, probably more than that, they're going to respond to you and be like, oh my gosh, I got them at American Eagle like 2 months ago. Hopefully they're still there for you. And I'm probably looking for jeans, so I'm not even lying. And then from there, usually what they'll do, you guys, is they're going to be like, and by the way, I'm so sorry that I've been ignoring your messages. It's just been blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to tell you why they've been ignoring your messages. But at least you get the conversation going again. So make that your goal, to just get them to respond to you. It's okay to talk about stuff other than it works. You're building relationships. And that is going to carry, once they join, having a really solid foundation of a relationship before they join is going to keep them in this business longer than it's going to keep somebody in who doesn't have any relationship with you at all. So count it as a win if you can just build that relationship. To combat excuses, I would just say, if you have somebody who's giving you a bajillion excuses when you're trying to sign them, they're going to give you a bajillion excuses after you sign them. So be a little bit wary of people that just give you excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. They might not be the person for your team. I'm not saying never follow up with them. I'm just saying maybe follow up with them less or let them come to you. Sometimes you just have to let people go and you have to put them on if there's a $10 enrollment list. You know what I mean? Don't spend your time on people like that. If somebody's giving you excuses like, I really don't have the money, ask them, if you did have the money, would you join? Ask them that. Because sometimes people are going to be like, yeah, I guess so. Then be like, okay, let's figure out how to get you the money. And then from there, you'll be able to tell if they really do want to join because they'll really listen to you and they'll really try to figure out how to get the money. Because if it's $99 holding them back, you guys, that money can be, gotten. So ask them that question. I love that question. If you had blank, would you join? And then figure out with them how to get that. For scheduling wrap parties, finding hosts. Wrap parties are awesome because that's a way to up your volume. You could literally up your volume by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of GV in one night. There's literally no better way to up your volume quick. Ask your current loyal customers if they will host an online party for you, and then get 5 to 10 loyal customers in one party. So you have 5 to 10 different hosts in one party. You're not doing 5 to 10 different parties over the week. You're doing it all in one night, all together. You've got a lot of people coming. You've got a lot of comments going, and go live in the party. That really makes a big difference. Or get a couple of your other leaders together and have all of you have 5 to 10 of your loyal customers host a party. Because then you're getting all those different people together, obviously making sure that whoever gets, the credit or whatever, making sure that that's all good to go, and gets the loyal customer. But that's a really good way to do it because then you could have multiple people go live in the party, and that can kind of break it up a little bit. But you want to just do a live wrap party right on the internet. It's amazing what you can do on Facebook Live when you get a lot of networks together into an online wrap party. That is my favorite way to do it. So simple, so easy. You're not taking a ton of time. You don't have to leave your house. Love it. And loyal customers, they usually want free products. And so if you're like, hey, I'm going to send you a box of wraps if I can even get one loyal customer, they're going to be like, sweet, let me invite 5 of my friends. Maybe I'll, get a box of wraps. For selling wraps hand to hand, Wrap Cash is bomb, you guys. Wrap Cash is literally bomb. I don't care if you're making $30,000 a month. $25 Wrap Cash is life. So as far as that goes, Alyssa Billieu gives my favorite advice for selling wraps hand to hand, and she schedules wrap appointments. So I think she says on Sundays, at least this is how she used to do it. On Sundays, she would message or text or whatever all the people that she talked to that were interested in trying a wrap. And she would say, hey, I'm scheduling my rep appointments. When are you available this week? I've only got 3 spots left, this, and this. And then they pick one. And then she wraps them. And then she meets up with them or whatever, and she wraps them there on the spot, or she gives them the wrap instructions, whatever they're comfortable with. But tell people that your spots are limited and they will become limited. And that's a really, really great way to sell wraps. Blitzing face-to-face. I'll be honest, like blitzing is not, sorry, I'm just like going through these really quick. We have super limited amount of time. I'm just going to like talk a mile a minute. But blitzing face-to-face has never been my like primary way of growing my business, but it is something that I have found that once I've made it more comfortable, it's been more successful for me. And it's not like I blitz somebody and they sign right then. That's not typically how my blitzing goes. But what I do is, say I'm standing in line at Target. Depending on how many kids I have with me, this might not go so well, but I usually try to just start a conversation with whoever is in line with me. Like, oh, where did you find that? Or, oh, do you like that brand of whatever? Or does that toilet cleaner really work? Or whatever you can start a conversation about. Just start a conversation with them. Usually moms at Target are like super open to just talking to another mom at Target. That is, we all want conversation. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if another mom talks to you in the middle of the day, that's like water to you. Like you desire that so much. You just want to have an adult conversation for like 5 minutes. So start a conversation. See if you can get it going somewhere else. Like try to turn that, does that toilet cleaner really work, into what do you do for work? Or are you a stay-at-home mom? Or, whatever you can ask. And usually they'll ask it back. And then you give your go-to answer, whatever that is. Oh, I have my own online marketing business and I work from home. It's amazing. And see if they can ask you some questions about it. Ultimately, my ultimate goal is usually to try to find a way that I can exchange social media accounts with them. Because I work my business on Facebook and on Instagram, I'm like, hey, do you have a Facebook? Like, I'm always looking for new mom friends. I would love to add you on Facebook. You have the cutest kids. I bet you take amazing pictures. I would love to, just connect with you on Facebook. Most people don't find it weird. Sometimes, especially if somebody has been in another like direct sales business, they'll like sniff it out a mile away and you'll be able to tell based on their facial expressions. But that's okay. Just like Brittany said, a no just means, all right, next step closer to my yes. So try to gear the conversation toward, can I add you on Facebook? And then you're not even like asking them. It's not even very scary. You're just becoming Facebook friends. And then they're going to see all about it works on your Facebook. And the goal is obviously for them to ask you from there. So that's how I like to blitz face-to-face. Okay. Now for messages. You guys had a lot of you said that you struggled with messaging. So specifically, you don't want to feel salesy. And I totally get that. I'm super yellow and blue personality. So like not only am I like really like standoffish and don't want to like be salesy and pushy, but also like I just want to have fun. So I don't really want to talk business with you. Like I just want to have fun with you. So those are like, messaging to me has to be that way. It has to be not salesy. It has to be like fun and normal and like just whatever. So what I always do, you guys kind of heard it at the beginning, I just try to talk to people like we're friends. And honestly, like I love messaging people because I'm not doing it just to be like, hi, have you, are you ready to join my team? Hi, we talked last week. Is today the day? That's not how I'm messaging you guys. I'm voice messaging them like, hey girl, how are you? I was just thinking about you. Sorry, my house is so loud. I'm trying to make lunch for my kids. Anyways, I was just thinking about you and I'm wondering, like, how did that conversation with your husband go last week? I haven't heard back from you and I'd love to know how that went. Like, that's, who doesn't want to get that message in the middle of the day? I'm just being normal. She can answer in a really normal way. It's just like, just be a normal person. Just be so normal. Be your personality. If your personality is not like mine and you don't message during the middle of the day when you're making your kids lunch, then do whatever is normal for you. Just be a normal person. We're just making conversation. We're just building relationships. That's all this business is. So don't try to make it salesy. If you're messaging a potential loyal customer, hey girl, I just started my cleanse today and I know you were really interested in getting going. I love how I'm feeling so far. Are you ready to get going? Easy, 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 easy. Don't make it hard. Don't overcomplicate. Use voice messages 110% of the time. Unless I'm talking to a dude, I'm going to voice message. And sometimes I'll even voice message with a dude if we've been talking for long enough and I'm sick of typing. I literally cannot tell you how much easier it is to message when I'm doing voice messages. And I cannot tell you how much more results I get when I'm giving voice messages. The thing about social media is people don't know you're a real person. They literally don't. I get people all the time that like comment on my stuff or message me as if I'm like this not real person, because you don't talk to real people like these people talk about me or message me or whatever. You lied to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, you think I'm not a real person? Like, I'm not a liar. It's fine. Calm down, friend. So again, voice messaging really helps them to know you're a real person. They hear your kids in the background. They hear your husband calling from you from the next room. They hear your life going on. They know you're a real person. I have like 1 more minute left. Wording for frequently asked questions. If you guys always get somebody that's like, well, what do you do? I always just, my biggest tips for this is if you get a question from somebody, only answer exactly what they've asked. If they ask like, well, what do you do? Give them 1 sentence. I promise you that's going to be a million times better than giving them 5 sentences or 500 sentences. And I know some of you give 500 sentences because I used to give 500 sentences. Nobody wants to read 500 sentences. Give them one sentence, maybe 2, okay, if they're short. If you guys are getting questions that are common and you don't have a good response, I like to change up my response every so often because I'm like sick of like my typical whatever. Ask your upline, ask some sidelines, ask in your team page, like, hey, what do you guys say when somebody says such and such? Because people are going to answer differently and you might want to change it up every now and again, but just ask. That's totally fine. That's what we're all here for. And then the last thing is being bold and going for the sale. You guys, this business is a sales business. We are in direct sales, so you have to go for the sale. You have to go for the sale and clinch that distributor. You have to go for the sale and clinch that loyal customer. And the way to do that is by going into every single conversation, assuming that they're going to buy, assuming that they're going to join. If you go into the conversation like, oh my gosh, well, the last 3 people that I talked to about the cleanse, like just ignore me and they didn't answer. So, I mean, hopefully she answers, but she probably won't because it seems like nobody wants this. I guarantee you she's not going to join. I guarantee you she's not going to buy the cleanse. But if you go into it and you're like, okay, I freaking love the cleanse. I just used it last week and lost 5 pounds and I feel incredible. And this chick is going to want this because everybody wants this. And you voice message her from that mindset, your conversation is going to go a million times better. So assume the sale, assume they're going to buy, assume they want it, assume it's going to change their life. And that's going to drive your conversation in a way that, you know, negativity never ever will. So that's what I got. I don't know who's up next. Claire, I think on leadership. That's all.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm talking about leadership, which I'm really excited about. And I wanted to share with you guys, if you're wanting to learn more about leadership, these are my 2 favorite leadership books. The first one is The Power of Layered Leadership by Bob Goshen. This book, I read this book right before I went presidential, and it literally changed my whole business. And now I'm reading the book Multipliers, and it is already blowing my mind, and I can tell it's going to be the next book that's going to change my business. So Multipliers is absolutely incredible. I know a few of us on my team are reading it. I just told Alyssa to go order it. She just texted me. She just got hers tonight. This book will change the way that you run your business, will change the way that you are a leader. It talks about 2 types of leaders, diminishers, and now I can't think, and multipliers, the name of the book. Sorry, my brain is like all over the place. But it just talks about how we can either diminish the people that are in our organization, or we can actually multiply ourselves and multiply their gifts, and we can have double the effectiveness, you know, with half the amount of people if we are leading right. So I wanted to read you guys a quote actually from this book, a quote that's been on my mind since I read it when I first started this book. And it's at the beginning of chapter 1. It says, "It has been said that after meeting with the great British Prime Minister, William Ewart Gladstone, you left feeling he was the smartest person in the world. But after meeting with his rival, Benjamin Disraeli, you left thinking you were the smartest person." And that is what a good leader does. So here's the thing. It's not your goal. It's not your main focus of leadership for your team to think that you're a rock star. For your team to think that you have it all together. You have the perfect wording, the perfect pictures, the perfect messages. I don't care if my team thinks that I have all of those things. I want my team to think that they have all of those things, because then my team will act like they have all of those things, and then my team will have all of those things. So I'm not concerned about being the best person on my team. I want everybody else on my team to be the best person on my team, because that's when we're truly acting within our full strength. I'm very passionate about the fact that when you are a leader in this business, you're nobody's boss, you're nobody's manager. Think of yourself more as a coach and a cheerleader than a manager or a boss. So I wrote notes because I know otherwise I'll get off on all kinds of rabbit trails, but pay attention to details of your team. So the first thing I'm talking about is connecting with your downline. So when you're connecting with your team, I don't care if you guys have one person in your downline, if you don't have anybody yet in your downline, or if you have 300 people in your downline, it doesn't matter. You can be an effective leader at whatever stage of leadership you're at, and you're getting ready, because here's the thing, if you're working your business and you're in these boot camps, you're headed in the direction where you're gonna have thousands of people in your downline soon. And so you've gotta be getting yourself prepared now. You know, you've gotta be kind of, the way I always think about it, because obviously I'm a presidential, so I'm working for ambassador. And so I constantly am asking myself throughout the day, am I worthy of being an ambassador? Am I worthy of that title? Am I leading the way an ambassador leads? Am I working the kind of hours that an ambassador works? Am I reading what an ambassador reads? So whatever you guys, if you're in the Going Diamond Bootcamp, if you're in the Going Ruby Bootcamp, how is a Ruby working? How's a Diamond working? What kind of effort are they putting in? You know, ask yourselves those questions. But with your downline, pay attention to the details. You know, if you've got a bigger team and it's harder for you to keep track of promotions, make sure you're going into that first time rank achieved report on eSuite, and you're seeing who just promoted, so you can shout them out, you can be proud of them, you can congratulate them. You know, ask your leaders, your next level of leadership, so your top line leaders, ask them, you know, who's rocking it out in your organization? Who can I recognize? So when I first started, when my team was smaller, I'm going to give you two scenarios. One for how to kind of recognize your team when your team's small, and one to kind of recognize your team when your team's big. When my team was small, I used to have everyone's name in my downline written out on a piece of paper. That just worked well for me. I had, you know, I'm talking back when I was, you know, maybe diamond, double diamond. I had, you know, maybe like 50 to 100 to 2, I don't even remember. I don't know. You know, I had a manageable number of people on my team. I had everyone's name written down, personally enrolled or not. And I would go through and I would once a month try to connect with every single person in my downline. That's not necessarily a sustainable business model. I'm talking about in your early stages when you're Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, you're able to do this. At least once a month I was touching base so that I knew where everybody was at, who needed coaching, who needed help, things like that. And then now that my organization is the size that it is as a presidential team, I go to my diamonds and above once a month and I say, give me your biggest rock star this month. Who's been killing it this month? Give me them. Tell me a little bit about them. And I write a personalized letter to each of those people to recognize who is taking my organization to the next level. Who are my rock stars? Who do I need to have my eye on? And then, you know, you better believe once I write that note, that person's on my mind and in my eyes, and I'm watching them. Okay, so the next question was kind of, you know, how do you motivate or inspire your downline? We hear this question all the time. You know, how do I get somebody to work? My team's not working. How do I get them to work? Here's the thing, you can't motivate, so stop trying. You've heard this before. You can't motivate somebody, but what you can do is you can help them find their own motivation. So if you have someone in your team who you're just like, man, I just can't get them motivated to work, I can't get them to see the vision, stop trying to get them to work, stop trying to see them to see the vision, but have a conversation with them. What is your biggest struggle right now? What are you guys facing in life? I'm not talking about the business. I'm talking about what's their biggest struggle in life. So they might come to you and they might really open up. Know your team, you guys, because there's stuff going on within your team that you have no idea about. Someone in your downline may have just lost a baby last month. Someone in your downline may have just lost their job. Somebody in your downline may not be able to pay for their car right now when they're riding the bus to work. You don't know what everybody's story is. So if you have someone that's struggling to be motivated for the business, check in with them and find out what's going on in their life, because that is going to be the key to their motivation. When you find what is hard in their life right now, that's when you're going to unlock their motivation. And you cannot do that for them. I see potential in so many people on my downline. I could spend all day just getting frustrated and feeling like they have so much potential and they're not using it. But instead, just connect with them where they're at. Hear their heart. listen to what's hard, and then help them unlock their own key to their own motivation and their own grit and their own reason for working. Something I like to remind myself of, and again, nothing I say is original. You know what I mean? Whenever you hear one of us spouting a bunch of wisdom, it's all stuff we've read from somewhere else or we've heard from somewhere else. It's just self-development. But the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. So again, I'm always asking myself, if things are not going well within my organization, if my volume's not going in the right direction, or if my enrollments on my team are not going in the right direction, that's on me. I really feel that comes back to me. Chances are, if things are not going the way I want them to go within my team, it's because I'm not doing my stuff. And I want you to listen for a second. I'm speaking to everybody in the back. If your volume is not where it's at, if your enrollments are not where it's at, take a look at yourself. And if you're getting frustrated that things are not going well in your organization, I can already guarantee you you're not working at the level that you should be. Because if you were working at the level that you should be, you wouldn't have time to notice. The months that I think things are going great in my organization is when I'm having a good month. And you know what? I don't even notice if enrollments are crap in my organization. I don't even notice because my enrollments are awesome. So if Brittney Landrum comes up to me and says, Claire, how's your month going? I'm going to say, my month is going awesome. I just enrolled 15 new distributors. I'm enrolling more customers than I've ever enrolled. You know, I'm having the best month ever. But if I'm having a bad month and she comes to me and says, how's your month going? I'm probably going to be like, man, you know, morale is down. My team's not motivated. Nobody's working. Because I have time to worry about all that because I'm not doing my stuff. I'm not working my business. And this is something that I have to tell myself all the time. I still go through these dips and valleys and times when I have to give myself a pep talk. But anyway, so take ownership of your business. Let's see how I'm doing on time. Oh, not well at all. Okay. I'll hurry through these last ones. Okay, so when somebody, letting go of non-workers, and you know, I actually feel like Brittney really touched on this and covered this already, kind of what to do when somebody leaves. You know, you're sad for them, not sad for yourself. Just keep doing your thing. But something that Pam always said that I come back to is let them leave with grace. And don't burn your bridges either. Let them leave with grace. Don't burn bridges. You never know when they'll need to come back or when they might want to come back. I have a girl that quit early on in my business. She's back now. She's charted diamond and she's doing great. And you know what? When she wanted to leave the first time, I said, okay, if that's what you need, that's fine. You know, have I taken it personally and done it wrong before? Sure. But try not to take it personally. It's business. Treat it like business. If somebody wants to leave the business, that's fine. Don't make it personal. But don't let them quitting slow you down for even a second because it shouldn't have that kind of power over you or your business. And like Brittney said, you know, you should never get to the place where you're rebuilding. You should always be building. And so if you lose, let's say you lose a diamond in your organization, you should be like, okay, that's okay. I've got, you know, Leah over here. She's ready to pop. She's ready to pop diamonds. So it's fine. That spot's already taken over. It doesn't even affect me. We're good. You know what I mean? Not that it's not sad, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. Okay, so next is starting new distributors well. Kind of wrapping through the rest of this. But first of all, get to know your new distributors really well. And if you've built a really good relationship with your potentials, you should kind of already have that base of you know what their why is. You know why they're starting this, what they want. But how do they learn? How do they work best? And then remember, you're not their manager. You're their coach, their cheerleader. So check in with them daily the first week. Then go to every few days, then go to like once a week and kind of, I go off of them. I usually tell them, listen, I'm not gonna check in with you. I'm not gonna babysit you, but anytime you text me, I will always be here. So I go off of them. I basically tell them like, if you blow up my phone all day, I will blow yours up right back. But if I don't hear from you, you're not going to hear me knocking on your door every 5 minutes because I'm busy. I have a huge team and I'm building my own business. And that's the way I personally feel like it should be because I didn't join this business because I wanted someone to boss me around or babysit me. I joined this business because I wanted my own freedom and I wanted to change my own legacy. So check in daily first week. I just said that. Oh, don't try to show them the whole picture. Don't try to get their eyes focused on cabs and all these things that they don't need to worry about right now. Show them their next steps. And then once they've done those, show them the next steps. And once they've done those, show them the next steps. I was just remembering the other day when I first got started, I printed out my executive chart. And when I promoted to executive, I did it in 14 days. I printed out my Ruby chart. 10 days later, I went Ruby. I printed out my Emerald chart. The next month, I went Emerald. I printed out my Diamond chart. I didn't join, like, some of y'all got to calm, I'm not going to say it. Some of y'all got to cool your jets. Let's say that instead. Like, don't join and print out a presidential diamond chart. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to run out. You're going to quit. Don't put the cart before the horse. Print your executive chart. Fill it out. Get the volume. Print out your ruby chart. Fill it out. Get the volume. Print out your emerald chart. So take it a day at a time and do that with your distributors as well. Don't rush them through the process. That way they're going to be more solid when they get to each thing. So I'm going to close because I'm way over time. So, yeah. I think Katie's next.
I'm going to go really quick. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about time management. I've been a working mom and I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of speak from both of those perspectives, but I just want to, I feel like that's the number one thing I hear from people is, I don't know where to fit this in. You know, I don't have enough time. That's a load of BS. Okay. You make time for what you want to make time for. So just so you know, everybody has life, everybody has things. If you want this, make time for it. So my tips for you guys, working in a short period of time, it's very doable, but it requires focus. It requires focus. So when I built to double diamond while I was still working a full-time job, and I worked an hour a day, but I worked very, very, very focused during the day. I made sure that I was not scrolling through Facebook, that I was not like going down like, you know, rabbit holes on Facebook, because you can get so lost in all this different crap on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Have a list in front of you. Don't answer messages. Don't answer your phone. Don't answer anything until you have gotten your entire list done. So, you know, you can have that little period of time, but you better be focused while you're doing it. Self-discipline was another area. You guys, you just have to, you got to know what you want and you have to go after it. You're not going to feel disciplined every day. You cannot work based on how you feel, because you know what? 90% of the time I don't feel like working. You know, I have a 4-week-old right now. I am tired as crap. I don't feel like working, but I've got my goals right here in front of me. I know what I want. I've got, you know, I'm a presidential diamond sitting right here plastered on my computer. So every time I sit down, it doesn't matter how I feel. I can see what I want in front of me. I have that vision. So make sure you know what you want. You've got your goals in front of you, and that you're not working based off of how you feel, because if you work based off of how you feel, you're never going to get anywhere. So the only person that can, you know, be disciplined in your business is you. Nobody can make you be disciplined, sit down and work, but you just have to have that vision. And then another thing is just being consistent. You know, consistency, I would say, is the biggest thing in this business. You know, you're the only person that can be consistent as well. You're the only person that can hold yourself to that consistency. The thing that really helps me is writing down a minimum of what I will get accomplished every single day. So there's no, like, I know exactly what I have to do. If I can do more, sweet. But I have it, it's written down on my wall over here. I have my 6 list. That is the minimum of what I will get done every single day. And so that creates consistency in my business. There's always these things that get done every single day, no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on. If I got to stay up, you know, 2 hours later than everybody else, those things get done. So write down, make a list of the things that are non-negotiable to you in your business, and then what you will do every single day, regardless of how much time you have. Income producing activities. Make sure that what you are doing is income producing. A lot of things that you guys are, you know, doing in your business they're not getting you anywhere. They're just dumb. They're stupid things. Make sure, because when I got started, I was doing all this stuff that I thought was super important. It's not making me any money. So make sure that you're doing things that are making you money and helping your team. I wrote down just a few of the things on my 6 list that I make sure to do every single day. Number 1 is self-development. That is income producing, because you know what? You cannot grow your income until you grow your mind. So make sure that that is getting done every single day. After that, adding to your network, that is huge. That has to get done every single day. Interacting on your Facebook and on your Instagram, and then messaging people, interacting with new people, talking with new people about your business. It doesn't even have to be social media. If you're not messaging people on social media that day, get out of your house and go talk to people. Make sure that you are talking about this business in some form every single day. My next thing was balancing your life and your business. You just have to be okay with not being balanced. I mean, honestly, balanced people are unsuccessful people generally. It's just true. You're building, hopefully, a multi-million-dollar business for your family. Okay. If you want to do that, life's going to get slightly unbalanced for a little bit, and you just have to be okay with it. One of the most awesome things I heard about this is at a leadership conference last year. I think it was TD Jakes that said this. He was talking about how, everybody has all these balls up in the air. You are going to drop balls every single day. I drop being a mom some days. I drop being a wife. I drop my business some days. The only way to ensure your success is to make sure you don't drop the same ball 2 days in a row. So you know what? You drop your business one day, make sure you step it up in your business the next day. You drop being a mom one day, make sure you're a freaking amazing mom the next day. Same goes for being a wife. In every area of your life, you want to be successful and balanced. Just make sure that you're not dropping the same thing 2 days in a row, and you'll be just fine. Okay. And then my last thing was just getting organized. I know that's hard for some people. I'm a very organized person just by nature. But if you are not, find a system that works for you, whether that be getting a planner and writing everything down, whether it be an Excel spreadsheet or, whatever, having 9 billion Post-it notes all over your office, whatever works for you. It's really hard to be successful in this business if you're not organized. So get organized, and that will help you manage your time. And that is all I got.
Hey guys, I think it's my turn next, and I'm going to be going over posting and just kind of getting your audience. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry. I totally got sidetracked. I thought you couldn't hear me. But so the first thing I'm going to talk about is adding to your audience. I think this is super important, especially when we're going live and we're just talking about our business in our post and not necessarily coming out straight out and making it an It Works post. First, I'm going to talk about doing live videos. When you do a live video, be creative. Make your caption of your live video something that's going to attract people. First off, don't make it be about It Works. Don't make it be about what you really want to talk about, but make it be something that's going to attract lots of people, and start off with that. I know that sometimes, I have 3 kids, and so my kids are always with me. And so usually when I'm going live, it's usually because Sophie's singing or doing something crazy. And so I kind of start out with that, and I kind of work in the business or what I really want to talk about in through my live video. But I'm not just coming out and saying product video, watch this, because nobody's going to get on because they're just oh, she's trying to sell me something. So make it something off the wall. I don't know, the other day, Sophie was singing this Descendants song. I can't even think of the name of it now. And I made the title just that. And people started jumping on because they, 1, knew she was probably going to start singing. And 2, she always is singing. And so she loves to show herself. So make it something that your Facebook wants to see or wants to hear about, and not just making it, oh, I'm going to do a product video, or, oh, I'm going to talk about the business, or, oh, I'm going to share my story. Make it interactive. And the next thing is have fun. If you're just making a normal post, have fun with it. 9 times out of 10, my pictures probably don't scream It Works, but if you read the caption, you're going to figure it out. And I think that's what really stops people and gets them to like it, is because when they're scrolling and they stop and see this goofy picture, or tonight I worked in the yard all day, and so I went and got takeout, and I held up the bag from Texas Roadhouse in front of working in the yard, and talked about how I got takeout, but I worked in this new amazing what's going to come in the next few hours or days through our company. So I think that is just what's getting people to stop and read and not keep scrolling and passing your videos or videos in your posts. Interactions. Interactions is a huge thing, because the more people interact with your posts, the more other people see your posts. So I think doing those survey posts, if you're getting ready to go get your hair done, and you already probably know what you want to do to your hair, make out a post that says like, what option do you think that I should get? Or, if you're going to go buy mums, put out all the color of mums and get people to get their opinion about what mum color that you should buy. Just getting those people's opinions gets people to actually comment on your non-It Works post, but then it gets them to see your It Works post that you're posting, 3 to 5 times a day. Posting your story. Posting your story, even if you are a Ruby, an executive, all the way up to Ambassador Diamond, posting your story is huge. And when I say this, I talked to a girl on my team a couple weeks ago, and she wanted me to get on a live video and post my story. And I said, I can post my story. I'm okay going live, but you have a story. Post your story. And I guarantee you, when you post your story or you tell your story, someone's going to relate to you. Sometimes we don't think anybody knows our struggles, and we don't think people realize what we've been through. But when you put it out there and you show people that you've been through it also, or you're going through it, they're like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. So posting your story, even if you're just starting out, post a story and talk about what It Works is going to do for you and what It Works has already done for you. It might be small things, but it will end up being those big things that you talk about in your story. Also posting your story and changing up the picture. Don't just post the same picture of you and your spouse or you and your family. Change it up, make it fun, make it interactive. Again, make it be something people stop to really look at and read. Building relationships. I think this is something that we have to go back. What Claire talked about in the beginning of the month is building relationships. She told you to go find 20 people and build relationships with them for 5 days. And then Brittney told you to message them. Just think, if you did that every single day, you just pick 20 people and you focus on those 20 people, what it could do for your organization. I think it's so huge. I think people get stuck in thinking like, oh, I built this relationship with this person and it went nowhere. That's okay. Move on. Go to the next 20 people, because I guarantee you those first 20 people are still going to be there. They're still going to be on your Facebook. They're still going to watch you every single day. I have people that come to me that have watched me for 3 years. Now I'm a triple diamond and they've watched me go up the ranks, but something that I might post might just click with them. And that's going to be you, but you just have to build those relationships with people every single day. And another way I like to make sure that I'm building relationship is making sure you go to those 20 people and you mark them as see first. There's options on Facebook, there's options on Instagram. Making sure that you see those people first before you see anyone else is huge, because you don't want to lose them in the shuffle of the Facebook algorithm, because it will happen. Just make sure that you then take, the first 20 off when you're going to the next 20, or, take 5 off that didn't really interact with you and add 5 more. Just make sure that you're seeing those people first every single day. Increasing your hundreds list. I think this is huge in your organization, especially right now. We have no idea what's going to come, these next few days, but it's going to be epic. Mark said it's going to be the biggest thing in 16 years that's ever came to It Works, but increasing your hundreds list is only going to make it successful for you. So adding to your network is huge, because if you're adding to your network, you're adding to your hundreds list. Building those relationships. When you're building those relationships, those people should be going on your hundreds list that keep interacting with you. If you're building a relationship with someone and they don't give it back, they don't go on that list. They maybe go on your chicken list or something like that. Blitzing. If you're out blitzing, I love the fact that I can say like, oh, I don't have a blitz. Just gave that girl over there my last blitz card. Can I text you my information? That's adding to your hundreds list, because you now have their phone number and they have your phone number, and it doesn't seem scary because they gave it to you. Like, you didn't go and stalk them on Facebook and get their phone number, because that's where you can find it. And interactions from going live. The more people that get on your live videos and start to comment makes people from their Facebook interact with you. So that's also going to be able to help increase your hundreds list by just using those interactions. And then the last topic I was going to talk about is attracting people. Don't always talk about it works. Find, what is something else you're passionate about? I'm passionate about my kids, and so I post about my kids a lot. But if you like dogs, go on it. Go post about your dogs. Just so that people actually get to see that you have a life. I always tell people, I never want someone to think of me as Megan as a family of 5 or Megan as it works. I want them to know me as Megan that has a family of 5, that does it works, that is passionate about, her kids and her life and her dreams. I don't want them to think of me as 2 separate things. So I think attracting people and showing them that you're a real person, you have hobbies, you have, things that you enjoy, that really gets them, they want to see that. And then the last thing is be real. Don't be a robot. Be real. When you're a robot, people see it and they don't believe it. They don't want to be a robot. So be real, be fun, be interactive, and just have fun, guys. Show your passion and show your excitement, and it'll shine through and make your business boom completely. And that's all I got.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up really quick because I know we have the family call coming up. So I want to talk to you guys about customer retention. So I know, everyone gets so excited when they sign an LC, you work so hard to get your customers, but what we need to remember is we need to work equally as hard to keep those customers as we do to get new ones. I think sometimes we get so focused on enrolling new customers that we forget about the old ones that we've already enrolled. And, we don't realize that those customers are just as valuable, because I don't want to sign, 20 customers this month and 20 next and 20 the next, but then that next month, the 20 from the first have dropped off. I want them all to keep ordering every month so my volume stays high. So, okay, a couple ways that I really focus on customer retention is I make sure my loyal customers are loving the products by suggesting good products that are good fits for them. So it's not, I'm not just going to blanketly suggest the same products for every single person. I'm going to ask questions about their lifestyle. So depending on whether they're working out or whether, they work long hours and they're just like, hey, gym's not a priority to me, that's going to determine what I suggest for them. So if someone's, doesn't work out at all, I'm going to probably give them a greens and fat fight or maybe a cleanse regimen. If they work out, I'm going to get them on, ThermaFit and, a bunch of other stuff. So really take the time to make sure you're not just throwing something at them that isn't a good fit for their lifestyle. Because if you suggest something that's not a good fit and then they don't really see the same results that your person over here who that was a good fit for them got, that's when they're going to be likely to turn their auto shipment off, because they're like, I didn't really love what I used. So that's huge. Also, give proper instructions for the products that you're giving them, especially if they get wraps. When anyone that orders wraps from me, I send them the file that I know it's in Elite Legacy. It's Alyssa uploaded it, but it says how to use the ultimate body applicator. I can get another page. It's called wrap instructions. But I'm going to send every single wrap customer that, and I'm going to emphasize, follow this to a T, because I know if they follow it to a T, they're going to have amazing results. But when people don't have results, supposedly, is when they don't follow the instructions. If they get cleansed, I'm going to make sure they know, eat really clean, drink lots of water. So just, make sure you're really taking the time to give them those proper instructions. The last, main thing that I do for customer retention is I want to make sure they keep their auto shipment on after 3 months. I do not accept someone wanting to turn their auto shipment off for 3 months. Even if they come to me and they're like, hey, I need to turn my auto shipment off. What I'm going to say is oh, that's totally fine. I can definitely help you with that. I wanted to let you know, though, our company has this amazing perk where, although you're not obligated to order from this point forward, if you choose to keep ordering at your 6th consecutive month, which is in November, they're going to load a $50 gift card on your account. And that's in addition, I'm going to look at eSuite and see what they have. That's in addition to the $14 you already have in gift. Really $8 in November to use. And I just would hate to see that free money just literally go down the drain. But I'll help you whichever way you decide to go. Just let me know what you want to do. But yeah, I just would hate to see that, that money be wasted. What happens every single time when you say it to them like that is they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess I will order something. And if I think money's an issue, by the way, guys, I'll even put in a little plug, we've got stuff as low as $15. So even if you just want to get something for $15 these next 3 months, I just would hate to see you lose that $80. Something like that. Because when you say it like that, they feel stupid responding and saying, no, I still want to turn it off. You know, like you just basically showed them how much was on the line. But you have to be excited about that. You have to be thorough. And I voice message that every time, because when they hear my voice, they're like, oh, I got to keep it on. You know, it's not even an option for them. So make sure you do that. And then at 6 months, I do the same thing, and I let them know about the $150 they're going to get at their 12th month. And I just literally say the same thing over again. I go see how much product they have, gift card credit they have, you know, per points. And I kind of guesstimate how much they're going to get over the next 6 months plus the 150. And by that point, they've got this massive number. Again, it's a no-brainer. So just doing that will really ensure that your customers keep their auto shipments on. And it's literally a simple amount of work. I have my customers down in my planner on my desk, and I literally just got done doing this a few days ago. So it's September. So all of my customers who ordered in June, that's who I was checking up on, you know, to make sure that they still kept ordering for September. So I just literally took, you know, 15, 20 minutes and went through my June customers and voice messaged every single one of them to make sure they still ordered in September. So again, it doesn't take much time, but guys, when you save those loyal customers and you prevent them from turning their auto shipment off, you're maintaining that volume, and you're still continuing to earn a residual income off them and your new customers you're enrolling. So it's just crucial. The last little tip I want to give you guys for customer retention is just send thank you cards. It's such a nice gesture to do. I literally keep this on my desk as like a reminder. So when I have like some free time in my power hours, like I put like Dreams on the Go samples and Wow samples. And I put instructions with it, how to use it so they use it the right way. Just send them a little thank you card. I just let them know I appreciate their business so much. Thank you so much for supporting my family's business. You know, I hope you're loving, you know, your cleanser that you ordered from me or whatever. You know, let me know anything that you need. Please enjoy the sample. So just little things like that will keep your customers loyal to you for life, and they're gonna think twice about just turning their auto shipment off.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so thankful for this night. I think that this was just incredible for you guys. No more just letting yourself be in this state of having these challenges without doing something about it. So I hope that you have some aha moments from the Zoom tonight. We have the family call starting in 1 minute, but make sure to, after the family call, to write your aha moments in the post that I just made. I'm going to edit it to, you know, make sure that you guys all know to do that. But thank you so much for being on tonight. Thank you to all of our leaders who shared. You guys are the best. Get on the family call and hear whatever they've got to tell us tonight. We'll see you guys later.